Chapter 4, 4.0 System Design, Part 19. System Structure Diagram. Among the other design tools you can use in the logical design of the system is the system structure diagram, the context diagram, use case diagram and class diagram. Majority of students like to stick to the marking scheme, as you might have already noticed. Apart from the flowchart, other design tools are not featured in the marking scheme. Therefore, this is to help understand that you can also include other design tools, which makes your work unique. 4.1.4 System Structure Diagram. In this part we focusing on the system structure diagram. We are still looking at system design, which lies in Chapter 4. Earlier on we looked at the entity relationship diagram, which is still under system design in the Chapter 4. Entity relationship diagram was covered in Chapter 4 of the previous parts of this video series in this channel. If you missed, check it up. 4.1.4 System Structured Diagram. A system structured diagram is a graphical representation of the system that shows the structure of the system, including the various components and how they relate to one another. It can be used to help ensure that the system is well organized and that each component is properly integrated with the others. A system structure diagram is a type of diagram that shows the components of a system and how they are connected to each other. It typically includes boxes that represent the system's components and arrows that show how they are connected. 4.1.2 A system structure has its own set of symbols. The following are symbols used when drawing an system structure diagram. This represents system components. Arrows show how the components are connected. 4.1.2 Maringo Sports Club System Structure Diagram. Maringo Sports Club System Structure Diagram. MSCS. Registration, store, games, inventory, individual, group, school S, colleges, religious org, patron, captain. 4.1.4 System Structured Diagram. The system structure diagram for the Maringo Sports Club system depicts the components and their relationships within the system. The diagram shows the high-level architecture of the system, which consists of four main components. Database. This is where all the data about members, sports, store items, purchases, facilitation fees, and reports are stored. User interface. This is the front end of the system that allows users to interact with the database. It includes forms, reports, and other graphical user interface elements. Registration. This component allows users to register as members of the club, either as individuals or groups. It captures personal details, interests, and special needs of each member. Store. This component manages the sale of sports items at the club store. It records all transactions and generates reports on sales and inventory. Games. This component manages external game facilitation by the club. It charges a fee and generates reports on facilitation transactions. Store. This component manages the borrowing and returning of sports equipment by teams. It records equipment transactions, surcharges for lost or damaged equipment, and generates reports on equipment inventory and usage. These components are connected to each other through the database, which stores and retrieves data as needed by the other components. The user interface provides access to all the components and allows users to navigate between them. The registration module feeds data into the store, facilitation, and equipment modules, which use the data to generate reports and perform transactions. The equipment module interacts with the store module to update inventory levels as equipment is borrowed and returned. Overall, the components work together to provide a comprehensive system for managing the operations of the Maringo Sports Club. 4.1.5 Context Diagram. A context diagram is a high-level overview of the system that shows the various inputs, outputs, and processes involved in the system. It helps to provide a clear understanding of the overall scope of the system, and to identify any potential issues or areas that may require further investigation. 4.1.2 A system structure has its own set of symbols. The following are symbols used when drawing an system structure diagram. This represents system input and output. Arrows show how the process between input and output. System. 4.1.2 Maringo Sports Club Context Diagram. Maringo Sports Club Context Diagram. MSCS. Membership. System. Store. System. Facilitation. System. Equipment. System. Registration. Member details. Sales reports. Stock level. Borrow return. Gain details. Facilitation. Surcharging fees. Sample 1. 4.1.5 Maringo Sports Club Context Diagram. In this diagram, the Maringo Sports Club system is shown as the main system, with 3 subsystems: membership system, store system, and facilitation system. The membership system handles member details, membership fees, and facilitation fees. The store system handles item details, stock levels, and sales records. The facilitation system handles game details and facilitation fee details, as well as equipment details such as the equipment list, borrow return records, and surcharges. The reports and alerts components are also shown, indicating that the system is capable of generating reports and alerting club management if stock levels drop below a certain level. 4.1.6 Use Case Diagram. A use case diagram is used to show the various use cases or scenarios involved in the system. It helps to identify the key actors in the system, and to show how they interact with the system. Use case diagrams can be used to help ensure that the system is properly designed to meet the needs of the various actors involved. What is a use case diagram? Next, graphically shows how actors interact with information system black small square actor, user or other entity black small square use case, function that actor can perform. 4.1.6 Use Case. In this use case diagram, there are 4 main use cases that the users of the Maringo Sports Club system can perform. 1. Register as an individual. 2. Register as a group. 3. Browse available sports games. 4. Purchase sports items. 5. Facilitate events as a patron. 6. And borrow return sports items. These use cases are connected to the user, who initiates them. Sample 1. 4.1.6 Maringo Sports Use Case Diagram. In this use case diagram, there are 4 main use cases that the users of the Maringo Sports Club system can perform. Register as an individual, register as a group, browse available sports games, purchase sports items, facilitate events as a patron, and borrow return sports items. These use cases are connected to the user, who initiates them. 4.1.2 Maringo Sports Club Context Diagram. Maringo Sports Club System Use Case Diagram. Request. Registration. Use computer. Member actor. Use case. Use case. Member registration. Visit Use Case Diagram. 4.1.7 Class Diagram. Graphically shows classes and subclasses in system. Classes group of objects can have lower levels called subclasses. A class diagram is a type of UML Unified Modeling Language diagram that represents the structure of a system by showing the classes, their attributes, methods, and the relationships among them. A class diagram provides a graphical representation of the classes in a system and how they are related to each other. It helps to understand the structure of a system, the object-oriented concepts, and how the different components work together. Next. Sample 1. 4.1.7 Maringo Sports Club Class Diagram. The sports club class represents the main entity in the system, which contains information about the club, its members, teams, and sports items. The member class represents a member of the club, who can register for membership and have special needs. The team class represents a team in a specific sport, which has a captain and can have matches scheduled with other teams. The match result class represents the result of a match between 2 teams, and the match class represents a scheduled match between 2 teams at a specific location and date. The sports item class represents an item available for purchase at the club store, which has a name, price, and quantity. Sample 1. 4.1.7 Maringo Sports Club Class Diagram. The class diagram shows the relationships between the classes, such as the sports club having multiple member, team, and sports item objects, and the team having multiple member and match objects. The match result class has a composition relationship with the match class, as a match can only have one result. The member and sports item classes have methods for registering a member and purchasing an item, respectively. Sample 1. 4.1.7 Maringo Sports Club Class Diagram. Sports Club. Name. Location. Members. Teams. Sports items. Member. Name. ID. Age. Gender. Phone. Team. Name. Sport. Captain. Members. Match. Team 1. Team 2. Date. Location. Sports item. Name. Price. Quantity. The end. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for part 20 on the detailed design still under system design. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if the video was helpful to get notifications once we upload more videos on Maringo Sports Club.